Before we begin, take a moment and ask yourself this question. How often do emotions control your decisions instead of you controlling them? In a world where pressure is constant, reactions are instant, and distractions are endless, emotional strength has become one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. Life will test you with uncertainty, criticism, failure, and delay, not to break you, but to reveal how strong your inner foundation truly is. This speech is not about avoiding emotions or pretending challenges do not exist. It is about mastering the inner force that decides whether pressure makes you panic or pushes you to rise. Emotional strength that never breaks is what separates those who collapse under stress from those who grow stronger through it. It is the quiet power that keeps you steady when everything around you feels unstable. As you listen, you will discover how thoughts shape emotions, how purpose creates inner stability, and how self-belief, discipline, persistence, and calm decisions turn adversity into advantage. These ideas are not theory. They are principles that shape strong minds and resilient lives. Stay with me till the end, because by the time this message is complete, you will understand that true strength is not found in controlling the world around you, but in mastering the world within you. Emotional strength begins with control over thoughts and reactions because every emotion is first born in the mind. Before anger, fear, confidence, or calmness appears, there is always a thought that gives it life. When a person allows thoughts to run unchecked, emotions become impulsive and unstable, reacting instantly to external situations. True emotional strength is developed when an individual learns to pause, observe, and choose thoughts deliberately, rather than accepting every idea that enters the mind. This control creates distance between an event and the emotional response, and in that space lies personal power. Reactions often happen automatically due to habits formed over years. A negative comment, a failure, or a sudden problem can trigger frustration or self-doubt without conscious choice. Emotional strength is built by retraining the mind to respond instead of react. Responding involves awareness, patience, and reason, while reacting is driven by impulse and emotion. When thoughts are guided intentionally, reactions become measured, calm, and productive. This ability protects inner peace even in difficult circumstances. Controlling thoughts does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending challenges do not exist. It means understanding that emotions are signals, not commands. A strong mind listens to these signals without surrendering control. By replacing destructive thoughts with constructive ones, such as shifting from fear to learning or from anger to understanding, emotional balance is maintained. Over time, this practice strengthens confidence and self-respect as the individual realizes they are. No longer controlled by external events, consistent mental discipline plays a crucial role in mastering emotional reactions. Daily habits such as reflection, positive self-talk, and conscious decision-making train the mind to remain steady under pressure. Each time a person chooses patience over panic or clarity over chaos, emotional strength grows deeper. This strength is not loud or aggressive. It is calm, quiet, and resilient, allowing a person to face adversity without losing control. As thoughts become more focused and intentional, emotions align with purpose instead of circumstances. Challenges no longer shake inner stability because the mind has learned to filter negativity and amplify strength. Control over thoughts creates mastery over reactions, and mastery over reactions forms the foundation of emotional strength that remains steady even in uncertainty and pressure. Clear purpose creates inner stability during challenges because it gives the mind a fixed direction when circumstances become uncertain. When a person knows exactly why they are moving forward, temporary problems lose their power to disturb emotional balance. Purpose acts like an inner compass, guiding decisions and reactions even when external conditions are confusing or painful. Without purpose, challenges feel heavier, failures feel personal, and emotions swing easily between hope and despair. A clear purpose transforms obstacles into meaningful experiences rather than emotional threats. When difficulties arise, a person with purpose does not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but instead thinks, "How does this help me grow or move closer to my goal?" This shift in thinking prevents emotional breakdown during hard times. Purpose gives pain a reason and struggle a direction. Allowing the individual to remain composed instead of overwhelmed, inner stability is strengthened when purpose becomes stronger than emotion. Fear, doubt, and frustration naturally appear during challenges, but purpose prevents these emotions from taking control. The mind stays focused on long-term goals rather than short-term discomfort. This focus reduces anxiety because attention is no longer scattered. Emotional energy is channeled into problem-solving instead of worry, creating calmness even in pressure-filled situations. People without a clear purpose often depend on external validation for emotional balance. Praise makes them confident, criticism weakens them, and setbacks discourage them. A strong purpose removes this dependency. Confidence comes from within, not from circumstances or opinions. This inner independence builds emotional strength, allowing a person to remain steady whether conditions are favorable or difficult. Purpose also strengthens patience and persistence. When progress feels slow or results are delayed, purpose reminds the mind that growth takes time. Emotional reactions such as impatience and frustration are softened because the individual understands that every step, even setbacks, is part of a larger journey. This understanding reduces emotional exhaustion and builds long-lasting resilience. As purpose becomes deeply rooted, emotional responses become more controlled and thoughtful. Challenges are faced with clarity instead of panic, and decisions are made with confidence instead of fear. Inner stability grows because the mind is anchored to something meaningful, allowing emotions to flow without causing imbalance or loss of direction. Faith in oneself builds unshakable emotional balance because it creates a strong inner belief that is not dependent on external circumstances. When a person truly believes in their ability to handle situations, emotions such as fear, anxiety, and self-doubt lose much of their intensity. This faith does not mean the absence of challenges or uncertainty. It means confidence in one's capacity to respond wisely and grow through whatever arises. Emotional balance is strengthened when the mind trusts itself instead of constantly seeking reassurance from the outside world. Self-belief acts as an emotional shield during moments of pressure and criticism. When setbacks occur, a person with faith in themselves does not immediately question their worth or ability. Instead of reacting with frustration or hopelessness, they remain calm and focused on improvement. This inner assurance allows emotions to remain steady even when results are delayed or mistakes are made. Emotional reactions become less extreme because the foundation of confidence is internal rather than situational. Faith in oneself is developed through repeated experiences of discipline, effort, and small victories. Each time a person follows through on a commitment or overcomes a difficulty, trust in their abilities grows stronger. This accumulated self-trust creates emotional stability because the mind remembers past successes during present challenges. Fear is replaced with determination, and doubt is replaced with clarity. Over time, emotions become more supportive instead of destructive. A strong belief in oneself also reduces emotional dependence on others' opinions. Praise and criticism are received with balance rather than emotional highs and lows. When self-worth is internally defined, emotions remain calm regardless of approval or rejection. This independence protects emotional energy and prevents unnecessary stress caused by comparison or judgment. The individual remains grounded, confident, and composed. Faith also encourages resilience during uncertainty. Even when outcomes are unknown, belief in personal capability maintains emotional control. Instead of panicking or retreating, the person remains patient and proactive. This emotional steadiness allows better decision-making and consistent action. As faith deepens, emotional balance becomes natural, steady, and enduring, enabling a person to face life with confidence, clarity, and inner strength. Discipline transforms emotions into productive energy, giving structure and direction to inner feelings that would otherwise remain scattered or overwhelming. Emotions such as anger, excitement, fear, or frustration carry powerful energy, but without discipline, this energy often turns into impulsive actions, stress, or emotional exhaustion. Discipline does not eliminate emotions. Instead, it teaches the mind how to guide them toward meaningful action. When discipline is present, emotions become tools rather than obstacles. A disciplined mind does not allow emotions to dictate behavior in the moment. It creates a pause between feeling and action, allowing reason to step in. For example, frustration can either lead to anger and regret or be converted into motivation to improve. Discipline makes this conversion possible. It trains the individual to ask what action will serve long-term goals rather than temporary emotional relief. This shift turns emotional intensity into focus and determination. Consistency plays a vital role in emotional discipline. Daily habits such as controlled routines, intentional thinking, and commitment to goals condition the mind to stay steady. When emotions rise, discipline provides a familiar structure that keeps behavior aligned with purpose. This reduces emotional chaos and increases self-control. Over time, the mind learns that emotions are signals to act wisely, not commands to react impulsively. Discipline also strengthens emotional endurance. Challenges often bring discomfort, impatience, or doubt, but disciplined individuals remain committed despite emotional resistance. They continue to act even when motivation fades or emotions feel heavy. This persistence reshapes the emotional response to difficulty. Instead of avoiding discomfort, the mind learns to work through it, transforming emotional pressure into resilience and strength. When emotions are directed through discipline, productivity increases naturally. Energy that might be wasted on worry or anger is redirected into effort, creativity, and problem solving. Discipline channels emotional force into progress, allowing individuals to remain effective under stress. This creates a sense of control and confidence, as emotions are no longer feared or suppressed, but guided with intention and clarity. As discipline becomes a habit, emotional stability grows stronger. Emotions remain intense, but they no longer disrupt direction or decision-making. The individual stays focused, calm, and purposeful, using emotional energy as fuel for growth and achievement rather than allowing it to become a source of imbalance or loss of control. Persistence strengthens the mind against fear and doubt by training it to remain active even when emotions attempt to shut it down. Fear and doubt often appear when progress feels slow, results are uncertain, or obstacles seem overwhelming. Without persistence, these emotions gain power and convince the mind to retreat. Persistence, however, teaches the individual to keep moving forward. Despite emotional resistance, gradually reducing the influence of fear and doubt over time, each act of persistence sends a message to the mind that challenges are temporary and manageable. When a person continues their efforts after failure or disappointment, the mind begins to associate difficulty with growth rather than danger. This repeated experience weakens fear because fear thrives on avoidance. Persistence breaks this pattern by replacing avoidance with action, proving that discomfort does not lead to collapse. As a result, emotional reactions become calmer and more controlled. Doubt often arises from uncertainty and lack of immediate success. Persistent action counters doubt by creating evidence of effort and improvement. Even small steps forward build confidence and reinforce belief in one's ability to continue. Over time, the mind learns to trust the process instead of demanding instant results. This trust stabilizes emotions and prevents overreaction to temporary setbacks. Persistence also builds mental toughness by strengthening patience. Many emotional struggles are caused by the desire for quick outcomes. When results are delayed, frustration and self-doubt increase. Persistence trains the mind to accept delayed gratification, allowing emotions to remain steady during long periods of effort. This emotional endurance is essential for lasting success and inner strength. Through persistence, fear transforms into focus. Instead of worrying about failure, attention shifts toward effort and consistency. Doubt loses its power when action continues regardless of emotional uncertainty. The individual becomes emotionally resilient, capable of maintaining direction even under pressure. With time, persistence creates a strong mental foundation where fear and doubt exist but no longer control behavior, allowing steady progress through challenges with confidence and emotional stability. Calm decision-making leads to lasting personal power because it allows the mind to operate from clarity rather than emotional turbulence. When emotions run high, decisions are often rushed, impulsive, or influenced by fear and pressure. Calmness creates mental space, allowing a person to evaluate situations objectively and choose responses that align with long-term goals. This ability to remain composed under pressure strengthens confidence and establishes inner authority. Emotional calm does not mean indifference or lack of feeling. It means control over emotional reactions. A calm mind observes emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This observation enables rational thinking even in stressful situations. When decisions are made from this state, they are less likely to be regretted and more likely to produce positive outcomes. Over time, this consistency builds trust in one's judgment, which is a core source of personal power. Calm decision-making reduces dependence on external influences. When emotions are stable, opinions, criticism, or urgency from others have less impact on choices. The individual becomes self-directed, guided by values and purpose rather than pressure. This independence strengthens inner confidence and prevents emotional manipulation. As a result, personal power grows from within rather than being granted by circumstances or people. Clarity achieved through calmness also improves problem-solving ability. Instead of reacting to obstacles emotionally, the mind analyzes solutions logically. This reduces stress and increases effectiveness. Calm decisions conserve emotional energy.